Hey, everybody. Tonight, we're going to talk about March astrology for every single sign because March packs a punch. It's quite the month for us astrologically. So we'll talk all about it. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. I'm Joshua the Psychic. You can check out my website, psychicsun.com, for any of my services. And also check out the free resources that are in the description below. So, tonight, if you're catching this live or around the 13th of March, we have our full moon lunar eclipse. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to happen on the 13th at 11:57 p.m., really close to midnight. And if you're on the East Coast, it's going to happen at 2:47 a.m. So we're in the lunar eclipse cycle right now if you're catching this live, but we're going to talk about the other cycles that we have going on as well in March. Hello, Haley. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So let's talk about this astrology. So we have the lunar eclipse on the 14th, the 13th, really late, right before midnight if you're on the Pacific coast. And the theme is releasing old patterns, habits, routines that no longer serve you. So we are under a south node lunar eclipse. And the south node is what we're moving away from, and we're moving toward the north node. The south node is in Virgo. The north node is in Pisces. So we're releasing from the 14th of March to the 29th of March, low-level Virgo energy. So, for instance, that might be perfectionism, being hypercritical. This might mean being too focused on prudence and not enough on going with the flow, right? It might be a little bit mechanical. We want to release anything that's mechanical in favor of flow. So we're releasing old patterns, habits, and routines that no longer serve us. The strategy for this full moon lunar eclipse is to identify and release any outdated habits or emotional baggage. What are you holding on to that is not practical? In the tarot, we actually have a card called Eight of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. And that means essentially not to have anything around that doesn't serve any practical purpose. So determine what might be in your life that is just not practical or might even be debilitating, and you can release that. This lunar eclipse calls for letting go of perfectionism or unnecessary burdens, especially those that hinder growth. It's a moment to free up space for new experiences. So you want to just let go as much as possible. You want to have the universe, let the universe have its way with you, so to speak, when we have eclipse season. Hello, Sunflowers. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. Hello, Casmar. Wonderful to see you. Hi, Fiery 154. Nice to see you. So we're letting things go this lunar eclipse, and you're going to experience this full moon lunar eclipse transit from the 14th of March to the 29th. What we also have coming up is the spring equinox, and that's going to be on March 20th. Now, this is the actual astrological new year. So if your entry into 2025 on January 1st wasn't that hot, well, you got the true blue astrological new year when the sun enters Aries in tandem with the spring equinox. The themes are fresh start, renewal, awakening. So the spring equinox offers us an ideal time to start fresh, to begin anew. You want to align with the energy of rebirth by focusing on self-improvement, goal setting, and planting seeds for your personal and professional aspirations. This is the time for reinvention and starting fresh, especially in areas related to identity and self-expression. Aries is aligned with the first house, the house of self-assertion. So you want to be assertive with yourself, right? You want to make sure that you're giving yourself rules. Because if you give yourself rules, if you have self-discipline, there's little you won't be able to do, right? So it's a fresh start that we're going to have on the 20th. Happy birthday, Fiery 154. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. This is great. It's really cool to have a birthday. Happy solar return. So we got the spring equinox on the 20th. So the chart of the spring equinox, which we'll be talking about next week, is going to be relevant for the whole season, right? So we're going to discuss that. There's some really good aspects. Now, on the 29th of March, we have our new moon in Aries solar eclipse. And that is going to really be the energy of spring in a lot of respects, right? It's that new moon right nearby our spring equinox. So the theme is going to be bold new beginnings and identity transformation, because this eclipse is going to really brighten things up. And when it brightens things up, it might burn things away, right? Or it might burn things into your life. During eclipse season, things could be eclipsed into our lives or eclipsed out of our lives, right? So the Aries solar eclipse is going to be a powerful reset for us. It's going to encourage us to clear away the old to invite in fresh energy. It's a moment for reinvention, personally, professionally, and socially. So step into your power, create new intentions, and fully embrace who you're becoming. So you want to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Because according to Nietzsche, that's who you really are. We're making ourselves up as we go along. And you want to use that fiery, fresh Aries energy to start new. Who do you want to be that excites you, right? What would be exciting for you? What's the new role for you in this this lifetime that you want to take on, right? Because that Aries energy is going to help you to do that. And we have our aces. So we have, with this new moon solar eclipse on the 29th, quite a few nice aspects. There's two that we're going to focus on: Jupiter in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. So if you notice over here with the red, we have what's circled is Jupiter. Jupiter is at 15 degrees Gemini, and Gemini is an air sign, which goes nicely with Aries, right? Because fire needs air to live, air needs fire to keep warm. So you have the sun and the moon at 9 degrees Aries. And because you have that Jupiter at 15, it's making a sextile. It's a wee bit wide, meaning, it's not as close to 9 degrees as it would be nice for it to be. However, it is still a sextile. So you want to reach for that Jupiter. And we're going to talk about how you can do that for every single sign. But generally, the theme for Jupiter in Gemini is expanding through communication, learning, and connection. The strategy with Jupiter and Gemini sextile to the Aries new moon, it's about expanding through learning, sharing ideas, strengthening your relationships. This energy will support your personal growth and your networking opportunities. So you want to really think about how your mindset is. Are you thinking in the way that is most conducive to your goals? What you may want to do is determine who has what it is that you want, who's living the life. It could be a figment of your imagination or a real life person. And what is their mindset like, right? Because your mindset is going to determine everything, right? You want to make sure that the mind is a good neighborhood. It's a happy neighborhood upstairs in your brain. And this Jupiter in Gemini will help you to do that. Now, we're also going to have your second ace that we're going to talk about tonight. You're going to have more than one ace, but your second ace that you can play is Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto, if you notice over here, it's circled. It's at 3 degrees Aquarius. And Aries, the sun and moon in Aries, are at 9 degrees, right? So Aries and Aquarius go very well together. And Aries is a fire sign. Aquarius is an air sign. So you have a nice sextile going on. So because it's Aquarius, because it's Pluto, you're transforming through progressive ideals and collective change. So you want to come up with that vision that really, really excites you. And you'll be able to live into that vision with the help of this sextile. So with Pluto and Aquarius sextile to the Aries new moon, embrace transformation by aligning with innovative ideas and forward-thinking groups. I would suggest that if you want to do something in 2025, get around those people who are already doing it. You want to make sure that you're around people, if you can, that are thinking the way you need to think, right? And if you can't be around them, well, read their biographies, watch their interviews. With Pluto and Aquarius, It's about embracing transformation by aligning with innovative ideas and forward-thinking groups. So you want to think outside the box, and you want to align with those people who are on route to where you want to go, where you want to be. The energy of Pluto and Aquarius sextile to the new moon supports shifts in how you engage with collective goals and future-oriented visions. So you want to make sure that you're aligning with those groups that make you feel good, right? What kind of community do you need to level up? What kind of community do you need to go to that next level? What friends could you have around you that make a big difference? So definitely do whatever you can to think about, at a minimum, or be around people who are doing what you want to do. Oh, thank you, William. Nice to see you. I appreciate that. So we're going to talk about general advice, and then we're going to go through every single sign. So general advice for everybody for March 2025. We have the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. That's happening on the 14th for most of us, most people in the world. If you're on the West Coast, it's happening at 11:57 p.m., really late. So we're letting go of old patterns of perfectionism that hinder our growth. We're letting go of anything that is too perfectionistic, too pedantic, too mechanical. Virgo is a great sign, right? But all signs have their darker side. And with Virgo, you have them being like very insecure and never good enough, right? They say that Virgos were born during a time in which their parents were not getting along. So babies, right, are naturally narcissistic. They think everything's about them. So theoretically, Virgos spend their whole life trying to do better, right? Is this right? What about now? How's this? Is this good? So because they were born during that time when their parents weren't getting along, they get this complex, which really does help the sign. It makes them really, really work hard. Nobody can really outwork a Virgo. They work really, really hard, but it's coming from perhaps this place of insecurity. So you want to let go of that. You want to get the job done, especially with the sun in Aries. You want to just do it. Now you want to also maintain excellence, of course. You don't want to be loosey-goosey about anything, but you don't want to be too wound up too tightly. You want to relax a little bit and embrace that Piscean energy of going with the flow, of things happening magically and just coming together synchronistically, right? So keep that in mind. Oh, thank you, sunflowers. I appreciate that. So you got that full moon in Virgo that we have to deal with, and we're just releasing things. You got on the 20th of March, the spring equinox. So happy spring, everybody. We changed the clocks on this past weekend, if you're catching this live. And we're going to begin anew with a focus on self-improvement, identity, and goal setting. So it's a fresh start. And along with that spring equinox, the real start of spring usually happens when we have our new moon in Aries. And this new moon is going to be a big deal because it's a solar eclipse. So on the 29th of March, we're clearing out the old to make space for bold new transformations and new beginnings. Now you got those aces, right? Now in general, with Jupiter and Gemini, you can expand through communication, your mindset, education, networking, broadening your horizon, chatting, learning, doing whatever you can to really socialize with those people that can really make a change in your life. Again, do whatever you can to let people who are doing what you're doing to inform you. Read their books, be around them, join groups, etc. Now, with Pluto and Aquarius, you want to align with transformative ideals and supportive networks. So Gemini and Aquarius, both are air signs. It's going to be a very social spring, and your social networks, I would say, can really help you. They can really help you. So do whatever it is that you can to put yourself out there and think in new, empowering ways. Oh, your daughter's birthday is on March 19th. Oh, boy. Well, happy birthday to your daughter. So let's go through every single sign. We're going to start with Aries, of course, the fire starter of our zodiac. So for Aries, you are going through the a sixth house transit during this lunar eclipse. So you're releasing any limiting routines, any habits that you don't like. You want to embrace more freedom. Like, what are you doing habitually that no longer punches your ticket? You may need a new job, right? You may need a new workout regime. So you want to allow yourself to release anything that's limiting in your routines. You got your spring equinox when the sun enters your first house, and that Aries is going to change your perspective and your personality and your perception. So the way you see the world determines everything, right? Seek and ye shall find. If you're looking for things to be happy about, you're going to find them. And if you're looking for things to be sour about, you're going to find them. So you want to make sure that the lens, right? The lens that you're looking through is positive for you. You want to be able to see yourself acting in the way that you want to act, doing the things that you want to do. Your new moon solar eclipse, of course, is in your first house. So you're going to be clearing away the old and inviting bold new beginnings and identity on the 29th for your new moon solar eclipse. With Jupiter in your third, you can expand through communication, learning, connecting with other people, sharing ideas. This is a great time to take a class. This is a great time to join a workshop, do something that is social. And it also is a matter of your mind's going to make or break you. It really could make you, right? With Jupiter in the third house, if you have the right mindset, you're in like Flynn. You're going to be good. Similarly, with Pluto in your 11th house, empowering your groups, you can align with others' transformative ideals, and your networks can help you to get to where you need to go. So it's going to be a social time for you. If you want to play those aces, Aries, be social, think in the right way, be around those people who are at a minimum wanting what you want. Ideally, they're doing what you want. They're living the dream. So for Taurus, the full moon lunar eclipse is hitting your 5th house. Virgo and Taurus are very friendly. They're both earth signs. So you're releasing any limiting beliefs around love. You're embracing authentic connection. So the 5th house is about things that you really love. Those things that make you come alive, that light you up with joy. So do you have a fear of experiencing too much joy? Are you apprehensive about experiencing pleasure? Some people, when they experience pleasure, they feel like they're going to get in trouble, or they're fearful, or they don't think that they deserve it, right? So you want to release any blocks to your most authentic joy. You want to make sure that you're doing things that you love and that light you up. And this full moon is going to help you to release any blocks to things that you really, really love. Come the 20th, happy spring. The sun will be entering Aries, so it's a fresh start for you on a subconscious level. It's about spiritual awakening for you. So spring for you, Taurus, is going to be, it's going to be much more quiet, right? Because your birthday is after Aries. Taurus comes after Aries. So you're going to be, consider it this way. You're going to be jumping out of a cake for your birthday in April, May, late April, May. So you want to make sure that you are doing what you can to get enough rest during Aries season. Same thing with that new moon solar eclipse on the 12th. You want to clear away any emotional baggage. I would get extra sleep. I would do affirmations. I would do self-hypnosis, visualization, because your subconscious, that's really the name of your game. So visualize, visualize, visualize. And I would say you got some aces here that are really good, Taurus. You got Jupiter in your 2nd. You got Pluto in your 10th. And this means your money's good and your career is good as well. So you're blessed in these two areas with this sextile. So with Jupiter in the 2nd house, expand through your resources. You may want to make some investments. You want to build a foundation for financial growth. This is a great time to start a new side hustle or to invest or to do something that explores your talents as well, because the 2nd house has to do with your talents. And then you got Pluto in the 10th. So your career most likely will be going through a change. So you want to align with transformative values and you want to strengthen your career path. You might want to make a change professionally. And if you do, well, it's going to be blessed under this new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th. So because it's a 12th house transit Aries, Taurus, because it's a 12th house transit for you, Taurus, visualize. Focus on what you want. Play it over in your head over and over again like it's your job, especially when it comes to money and success. So see money coming at you. See that trophy coming at you. And have a great March, Taurus. I think it's going to be really cool for you. So Gemini, happy March, Gemini. You got your full moon lunar eclipse hitting your 4th house. So on the 14th, you're releasing old patterns in home life. You're embracing emotional freedom. How can you feel snug as a bug in a rug, right? How can you feel all tucked in, all cozy on the inside? That's the key to the 4th house. How can you tap into the energy of the divine mother and take care of yourself in only the way you can be taken care of? Though our parents may have been wonderful, your mom may have been wonderful, but the process of individuation, coming into your own authority, means that you need to be the one that nurtures you. Only you can nurture you the way you need to be nurtured. And you're releasing things this full moon in Virgo that undermine your emotional security. What trips you up? What makes you feel bad? So somebody or something might go that is undermining your emotional security. You got your spring equinox on the 20th, and that is going to start a new cycle for you in terms of friendships, networking, group alignments, because the sun will be entering your 11th house. Now we have our new moon in Aries solar eclipse on the 29th of March. That probably will clear past social connections. There might be some social connections you have that just do not work for you any longer. Your vibe has changed, so your tribe may change. You want to invite new friendship and collective goals. So, you want to do whatever it is that you can to really align with what works best for you. In terms of groups, anything that you can do in terms of focusing on your ideals is also going to be super helpful. You got Jupiter in the 1st house, Gemini. So you are the celestial favorite this year, well, until Jupiter enters Cancer. But you want to really allow yourself to go big. You want to expand through self-expression. You want to embrace creativity in projects. Your Jupiter in that 1st house. And then you got Pluto in the 9th. That's really nice. You got Pluto in the 9th is going to transform your ideals. It's going to transform your philosophy. And it's going to bring new power to your voice in a lot of respects. New power in terms of your voice. Like, how are you going to express yourself so the whole world gets to hear you? How can you express yourself so the whole world gets to hear you? But it's going to be a fiery springtime for you because you got these aces hitting your 1st and your 9th. So it's going to be a very, very fiery time. So I would go after those shiny apples on the tree, Gemini. Do whatever it is that you can to move forward in a new way, right? So you want to think of your ideals and move forward and do whatever you can to expand your horizons. This could be a transformative trip. You could enjoy some new education. So it should be great for you. So Cancer, the full moon in Virgo, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse rather, is hitting your 3rd house. So you're releasing any communication blocks. You're embracing clarity and authenticity. So the 3rd house is your mindset. So anything that you're thinking that doesn't feel good, stop thinking it, right? There might be some social activities that no longer really work for you. And you want to embrace clarity and authenticity. On the 20th of March, you have the spring equinox, and that's going to be a fresh start for you professionally because the sun will be entering your 10th house. So it's a fresh start for your career, your ambitions, and your professional goals. We have a new moon in Aries solar eclipse on the 10th. So you want to clear your outdated professional identity. You want to invite new leadership roles into your life. How do you want to be a leader? Where are you most passionate about? Because that will help inform the best career path for you. Now, you got Jupiter in your 12th house for this solar eclipse, making a nice sextile to your 10th. So meditate, visualize how you want things to go, especially professionally. You're going to be really able to expand this spring through your spiritual practices and connecting with your inner wisdom. Pluto in the 8th house is pretty transformative. So you might want to think about how you want to transform your career by going through a death, a rebirth. What do you have to let go of? You also might want to transform your career by joining forces with somebody else. Pluto in the 8th house has to do with being empowered through your joint enterprises, through the resources of other people, and also, of course, sharing your resources. So sharing could be very, very helpful for you with that Pluto in the 8th. So I would say prepare for great career success. You just got to make sure you're visualizing and also cutting out what is undermining your professional ambitions, because Pluto does release things. It transforms things. So Leo, for your March, you got your full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo hitting your 2nd house. So you got to release any fears around finances. You want to do whatever it is that you can as well to release any blocks to your throat chakra. What are you not expressing? How are you stifling yourself? How can you explore your talents and your skills and your abilities? Because the more you do that, the more you're tapping into your inherent riches. And then you're going to be embracing your own wealth, right? Your own riches within, and that's going to make you more wealthy. So embrace security and abundance. Now, your spring equinox is coming up, and that's going to be a 9th house transit for you. The sun will be entering your 9th. So that's a fresh start for you in terms of beliefs, spirituality, and your long-term vision. You may want to take a leap of faith. Maybe you're going to be planning a trip far away. Maybe you're going to be starting a new course of study. Maybe you're going to be writing that book or doing some publishing or broadcast projects. Because that Aries new moon solar eclipse will be hitting your 9th. So you're not only clearing limiting beliefs, but you're inviting a new direction for your future. What really excites you? Where do you want to go? How can you go beyond your stretch? How can you leave the familiar and move into the unfamiliar? Long ago, education was aligned with travel, with foreign travel, because you learn when you're on vacation, when you learn when you're in a different place than you are from, right? So definitely expand your horizons. You may want to do so with a group or even with a partner. Maybe you go on a group trip across the world, or maybe you and your partner go on vacation to another country, or you both start a course of study together. Jupiter in the 11th is going to help you really to expand through your network, your social connections, and your group projects. And your hopes and your dreams are lit up, Leo. This is definitely the time to go for those shiniest apples on the tree, to go after the ideal scenarios in every area of your life. Pluto in the 7th will be transforming your relationships, but it's going to empower them. So if a relationship is no longer working for you, that's probably not going to survive Pluto in the 7th, right? During this eclipse, realistically. However, it could be a matter of you're just transforming the relationship, right? So energetically, it is a different relationship. So align with transformative power in your relationships and partnerships. If you are single and ready to mingle, I would say you probably could meet somebody who is from a different area of than you are. It might be somebody who is very, very wise, right? But definitely allow yourself to expand through your groups, your hopes, and your dreams, as well as transform your partnerships to go to that next level. So Virgo, happy March, Virgo. This full moon lunar eclipse is hitting your 1st house. So you're releasing your old self-concept, like how you see yourself. You got to see yourself as the person who would have what it is that you want. You can't view yourself as you always have in order to get new things, right? You're the type of person who says, I always get the job and I always wind up being the person who get stuck with the lion's share of responsibility. Well, because you're identifying with that self-construct, it's going to become an apparency. You're going to attract it. So you got to release anything. Like if you feel like something's happening to you that you do not like, you got to get out of that perspective. You got to start seeing life through a new lens. So you want to embrace self-expression, self-acceptance, and growth. So you want to do whatever you can to release your old self-concept and live the dream. Think about who your future you would be and how do they see themselves, how do they express themselves, etc. The spring equinox is going to be a big changing time for you because the sun at that point will be entering your 8th house. So it's a fresh start for you. It's a rebirth. There's probably going to be some endings and a new beginning for you in March for sure. March and April, right? Because that solar eclipse will be on the 29th, which will really color your spring. So the new moon solar eclipse on the 29th will be hitting your 8th house. So it's about clearing outdated connections, inviting deep emotional transformation. You may be going through it. An 8th house transit on its own is not easy. And because it's a solar eclipse, something probably is going to go bye-bye. But it's very, very positive for you, especially in earthy matters, because you got Jupiter in your 10th house of career and Pluto in your 6th house of work. So if you're looking for a new job, if you're looking for a new career path, this is going to be great for you. Jupiter in the 10th house will help you to expand your career. So align with your success and professional goals. Visualize what you want and play that new role. Start seeing yourself in your mind's eye in that new position. With Pluto in your 6th, align with that transformative energy for better health and daily routines. You're probably going to be changing something in your day-to-day lifestyle. Maybe you'll be working out in the morning, or maybe you'll be starting a new job. But you want to definitely let go, be very gentle with yourself, especially because you got that full moon lunar eclipse in your sign. And then you have that solar eclipse in your 8th house, which is not always easy. So when you're going through an 8th house transit, flexibility is the name of the game. You want to be as flexible and as fluid as possible and really enjoy that. It looks like you're going to get a really nice job, or your job is going to really be empowered. It's going to empower you, and there's really great things for you professionally. I would say really you want to make sure, Virgo, that this is your year to achieve that level of excellence professionally. Like, what are you doing? How can you get on top of that mountain? Just make sure it's the right mountain, because you're really blessed professionally and you want to really be doing what you're meant to do. And happy March, Virgo. So Libra, you got this Virgo full moon lunar eclipse hitting your 12th house on the 13th, 14th of March. And you're releasing your subconscious fears. You just got to command yourself to not think in negative ways, right? If you happen to be doing so. Your subconscious is very, very porous. So be sure you're giving yourself suggestions. Tell yourself, as I sleep, all my cells will restore to perfect health. I love everyone and everyone loves me. Whatever it might be. You want to flood your subconscious mind with thoughts that feel good. And that's going to drown out anything that's negative. So release your subconscious fears. If you see yourself thinking negatively, tell yourself, give yourself a command. Hey, gently, say, stop it. Don't think in that way. Ask yourself, are you afraid of things working out? Are you afraid of things going your way? Can you get used to things working out for you? Because this is a very healing time for you. So please get some extra rest, because so much of what you do under a 12th house transit that's positive is through sleep, through subliminal processes. If in addition to sleeping and doing your affirmations and your visualizations, definitely spend time focusing on people who have what you want, right? Read their books, watch their interviews, because again, you're going to be learning through osmosis. Your subconscious is very porous. So be around those people who are doing what you want to do. The spring equinox for you, that means the sun will be entering your 7th house, Libra. So it's a fresh start for you in terms of relationships, partnerships, and alliances. So a new beginning for you come spring. And that solar eclipse is hitting your 7th house. So that solar eclipse on the 29th is going to help you to clear past relationship baggage. And you want to make sure that you're sending off the other person. Say you're letting go of a relationship. Send them off with love. Wish them the best. Otherwise, you're still going to have some kind of attachment to them. If we have a strong attachment to somebody, whether we really love them or hate them, we never get rid of them. They might continue to be in our lives in this lifetime. And if not this lifetime, well, you see them in the next one. Because that emotional resonance that you have, be it positive or negative, it latches you onto this person. So if you want to be free of somebody, well, wish them well, make sure that they're happy, hope that they're happy, because if they're happy, they're going to leave you alone. So there's a new beginning for you in terms of relationships. If it's not a relationship, it's a relationship story. You may also be empowering a current relationship that you're in. You're not leaving the relationship, but you're taking it to that next level. You got Jupiter in the 9th, so I would definitely consider a trip to a foreign land with Jupiter in the 9th this spring, if you're interested in that. You can expand through travel, education, exploring new philosophies. You may want to learn something new. If you are an artist or a writer or creator of some kind, be sure to publish, broadcast, get yourself out there, share yourself with the world. Experience more of the world and let the world experience you, because there's good things if you do that this spring. And you got Pluto in the 5th. This is really nice for you. So Pluto in the 5th, you're going to really tap into this new creative side that is very, very transformative. And the 5th house has to do with romance and self-expression, anything that lights you up. So the things that light you up with joy, the things that you love, are transforming. And they're going to be very empowering. Pluto empowers you. So the more that you light yourself up with joy, the more that you do things that you really, really love, the more power you're going to have. And that's going to help you to manifest much more quickly. So Libra, it's a wonderful time for you, March, especially if you can release any fears subconsciously because you want to enter a new relationship story in your life. You could do really well with somebody from a foreign land or in another country with Jupiter in your 9th. You could go on a nice trip with a partner. That could be great. And you also could conceivably meet somebody that is very, very transformative. It might be a matter of you're just dating this person, but, you know, either the sex is so good that it transforms you or just being in this person's presence really transforms you. But do things that are fun. Do things that light you up with joy. And happy March. So Scorpio, happy March to you. You got this full moon lunar eclipse hitting your 11th house. So it's all about going after those shiniest apples on the tree. Remember, there are no dangling carrots in the universe. Meaning if you want something, that comes with it, the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. So you want to release any helpful social dynamics. You want to embrace authentic group connections. Anything that is authentic. So what tribe, what group really resonates with you? What dreams really resonate with you? Like, oh, if I could do this, this would be great. Think long-term aspirations. One time in the future, I want to do this, right? Think your long-term aspirations, those things that really make you smile and make you feel like you're on a cloud. So you may be releasing people in your life this transit that no longer work for you. Maybe you've gone through a transformation and your group is no longer aligned with your values. You also could really get a light shown on, oh yeah, this is the kind of group I need in order to succeed, to go to that next level. Come spring, on the 20th, you have a fresh start for yourself in terms of your day-to-day regime, your health, your routines, your work, your projects. And the 6th house new moon that you'll have on the 29th is going to help you to clear out outdated habits. You're going to have a new way of working, of being productive. This is really good for streamlining your routines and making sure that your life is very efficient, even energetically. That could mean really releasing anything that might be a time suck or something that undermines you, right? You get Jupiter in the 8th house, so you're going to be able to really, really expand through joint ventures, shared resources with other people, and intimacy. So because it's a 6th house new moon that you'll have on the 29th, you might want to think, how can you have more empowerment throughout every single day? How can you have more intimacy, either sexual or emotional, in your day-to-day life? That certainly would make your day-to-day regimes much more fun, right? And much more passionate. You got Pluto in your 4th house. So you're really transforming your sense of emotional security. What makes you feel safe and secure may be changing. So there might be some shifts domestically and around family matters. So your family might be able to really empower you. Your home could be a great source of healing for you and regeneration. Scorpios, by their very nature, have tremendous recuperative powers. So it's going to be an emotional march for you in some respects. But I think that, you're going to be able to look at things in a very intellectual way with that 11th house eclipse and a more practical way with that 6th house eclipse. So release groups that no longer serve you. Get rid of habits that no longer work for you. Find new ways of being productive. Allow yourself to let go of something. With Jupiter in the 8th house, you're going to succeed when you create a boundary or you release a boundary, right? So think about your boundaries. What do you need to do to feel better? Do you need to set a boundary and say no, or do you need to release a boundary and say yes? And definitely transform your home. Find out what you need in order to feel emotionally secure, tucked in and all yummy on the inside. Oh, thank you, Kasmar. You was thinking about moving on from a group or maybe just less time with them. Oh, I'm glad. That's great to hear. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's important to really follow your intuition, right? So Sagittarius, this full moon, lunar eclipse is hitting your 10th house. So you're releasing any professional fears. You're embracing new professional opportunities. There might be something professional that is no longer working for you. And you're like, okay, well, I have to let this go. It might not be your career so much as your place in the world. Maybe you need to self-identify as somebody who is doing something different, and then you'll be able to do it. So if you have any fears in your career, maybe you're in the perfect career and you're just fearful about it. The spring equinox is going to give you a fresh start for creativity, romance, and self-expression because the sun will be entering your 5th house. So with the new moon solar eclipse on the 29th, it's going to be hitting your 5th. It's all about clearing past emotional blockages and inviting creative projects and love, doing things that you really, really love. What might be keeping you from experiencing your greatest joy? You're super blessed when it comes to partnerships. You can expand through those, both personal and professional. And with Pluto in your 3rd house, your mindset is probably transforming. You might be writing. You might be communicating with people in new ways. But your learning and your communications and your connections are going to really transform you. So if you're planning on taking a class or writing more, expect it to be very, very transformative. The big thing is you want to make sure that these little boxes or these houses, technically, right, are all taken care of. Like, what do you need to do to feel secure in your career? What do you need to release? And what do you need to have fun and have joy? What do you need to release in order to have that fun and joy? Definitely partner up and definitely think in the ways that are empowering for you. And have a wonderful March. So Capricorn, this lunar eclipse is hitting your 9th house. So Virgo and you get along really real well. You're both earth signs, so you're releasing any limiting beliefs. The 9th house has to do with your philosophy. You're embracing new perspectives and education. So this might be a time for you to determine what the next stage of your journey is, how you are going to be taking a leap of faith. More important, what is keeping you from feeling confident about taking that leap of faith? What do you need to release? The spring equinox is going to be very, very important for you because it's angular. So it's a fresh start for you domestically, new stuff in terms of home and family and your emotional foundation. So what do you need to feel emotionally secure? That's going to be the name of your game come spring. The new moon solar eclipse will be hitting your 4th house. So you're clearing past emotional blockages, those things that undermine your sense of emotional security. You want to invite fresh energy into your home life. What new things do you want to do in your home? Maybe you need to redecorate. Maybe you need a new home. Maybe you need to make it more comfortable. You get Jupiter in your 6th house, so you won't be shy of work. There'll probably be a lot of work for you. And not only will there be a lot of it, but you're going to be very lucky. You could get a new job, or your job is probably going to get more cushy or more enjoyable. It's going to help you to expand. You're going to be able to expand with Jupiter in your 6th house through your work, through your routines. And your life can really, really work like a well-oiled machine with Jupiter in the 6th. But remember, it's starting with the 4th. So you want to make sure that your home life is all taken care of, that you're feeling really emotionally secure and really at one with the Divine Mother. Now, Pluto's in your 2nd, so you're transforming your finances. There might be new ways that you bring money into your life, or there might be new self-expression that allows you to be more empowered. So align with transformative shifts in your finances and your resources, because there's more money for you. And if you focus on that emotional security with that 4th house, you tap into that energy of the Divine Mother, you're going to be in a better position to transform your day-to-day lifestyle and to attract more money, because you want to be comfortable. Comfort is going to attract money. Remember, Venus rules comfort, luxury, money, beauty. So you'll probably be finding new ways of seducing money into your life, right? Money is like a woman, a very, very esteemed woman, and she needs to be allured, right? You need to allow yourself to seduce that energy of money in different transformed ways, right? How can you transform your approach to attracting money and allowing it to flow into your life? And how can you transform your creative expression, right? There might be some new talents that you want to explore, and that also is going to help your income, even if you're not doing the particular talent for money. For instance, if you're singing on the weekends just for your own pleasure, that's going to open your throat chakra. That's going to make you more valuable, and you'll also be able to attract more money. So enjoy your March, Capricorn. So Aquarius, this full moon lunar eclipse is hitting your 8th house. So it is intense for you. It's an 8th house transit. Is not easy. A lunar eclipse is like a full moon on steroids, right? So you're releasing emotional baggage. This is a big releasing of things that no longer serve you, especially psychological things. Are you stuck in patterns that you know are you? Are you making other people that are in your life that are good doers pay for other people's sins? Are you superimposing the past onto the future? Right? So you want to release any emotional baggage that no longer serves you. You want to embrace deep transformation. What can you let go of that it's going to allow you to really transform and be empowered? The spring equinox on the 20th is going to be a fresh start for you in terms of communication, ideas, and learning. And that new moon in Aries solar eclipse that we have on the 29th, that's going to be hitting your 3rd house. So you're clearing outdated thought patterns, inviting fresh ideas and connections. So you're going to be thinking in a fresh new way. And there's probably going to be new ideas that you have and new connections that you form. So this could be a shift in your mindset, but it also could be a shift in your social life. Jupiter in your 5th house is going to really help you to expand through creative projects, self-expression, and romance. If you are, if you're single, I would definitely go out and date if that is interesting to you, because you're going to be blessed in in anything that has to do with like dating and having a good time. I would say that it's not a particularly relationship focused spring. However, that's going to be determined by this 8th house transit. Are you going to move in closer with somebody? You're going to create a boundary? Because Pluto's in your 1st house and you're going through a major transformation in terms of your personality. So you want to think about what it is that you want and who you need to be in order to get what you want. So you want to align with transformative personal goals and really create a self-image in your mind that is empowering. But it's going to be a very fiery spring for you. Very fiery spring. And it's going to start with a new mindset. Be sure to have fun, play, enjoy yourself, and don't feel compelled to be the same person that you were before. Pluto is in your 1st house now, and it's making this beautiful sextile to that new moon in Aries. So any changes that you make in terms of your self-construct, how you see yourself, are going to be very, very helpful for you this spring. And have a very happy March. And last but never least, Pisces. So Pisces, this full moon in Virgo, lunar eclipse will be hitting your 7th house. So you're releasing unhealthy relationships. You might not be leaving a relationship. Maybe you're leaving a toxic pattern in that relationship. You're embracing balance and cooperation while saying, you know, I don't want to relate to this type of person. Maybe you're even releasing a relationship story. Maybe you have in your head, oh, I always attract narcissists. Well, don't make that a belief, or you certainly will, right? The spring equinox on the 20th is going to be a fresh start for you financially. Also in terms of your self-expression, your self-worth, your sense of material security. So that new moon solar eclipse on the 29th is going to be very empowering for you. You want to clear any limiting money beliefs. You never want to worry about money. That stops its flow from coming into your life. Affluence comes from the French, affleur, which means to flow, right? So make sure that you're flowing and you're not worrying about it. And make sure you're also expressing your talents and your creativity. That's going to help you invite more opportunities for abundance. And you're going to create the best things when you're in a relaxed flow state. And of course, that's the same energy as Venus, which is going to attract more money into your life. Now, Jupiter is hitting your 4th, so you might get a bigger place. You might expand your home. You might expand your family connections. Maybe you're connecting with relatives that you never connected to before, maybe on Ancestry or with relatives that you lost touch with. But your home is really going to support you. It's really going to help you. And then you got Pluto in the 12th. So you're going through a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You're going through a lot of stuff subconsciously. So you want to make sure that you're visualizing. Visualize what you want. Focus on what you want. Give yourself those affirmations. Get a lot of sleep, right? Make sure you're giving yourself suggestions before you sleep. As I sleep, all my cells are restoring to perfect health. I love everyone and everyone loves me. Everything's always working out for me. Things like that. Because your subconscious is going to be really empowered and you don't want to focus on things that you don't want. So align with transformative energy in your spiritual and your subconscious growth. You might want to incorporate some new practices. But spring for you is going to be a bit emotional, right? You're going to really expand and grow and be empowered through your emotions with that Jupiter and that Pluto in the 4th and 12th respectively. So have a wonderful March, Pisces. And we did it, folks. We went through every single sign for March. I hope this was helpful for everyone. I hope you have a wonderful March. This March is pretty intense, but now you have an idea of where your aces are and you can achieve your goals. So I appreciate everybody joining me in the live or catching this replay. Do check out the companion Substack piece for this video. That's linked in the description below. And if you're catching this live, I'll catch you tomorrow, Friday, for This Week Astrology at 1 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, take care, everybody. Oh, I'm really glad, Casimar, and thank you again for your super chat. Very, very nice of you. So I'll see everybody later, and take good care, and have a very, very happy solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. I'll see you later.